welcome for the second part of this panel discussion on Flipkart.com. The first part we have discussed about the competencies of Flipkart.com, and we have discussed in detail the business model that they run and how it has evolved when it was founded in 2007 till how it is, and how they have shifted from being a price comparison site to being a marketplace site currently. The second part we are trying to analyze the environment, the Indian e-retail environment in which Flipkart.com operates. And the first question in this second part is, how do competitors shape up against Flipkart, where Mr. Nitin Verma would be providing his opinions.
Sure, thanks Abhishek. Actually, if you look at the competitive landscape, there are these are some of the prominent names. For example, there is Myntra, and then there is Snapdeal. Amazon is here, it's already here. Amazon.in is here. Then we are hearing a lot about Reliance Digital coming in big way. Chroma has been there. Probably it's going to reinvigorate itself. Barnes & Noble, which we haven't heard here, the world's largest online bookstore, and some of us may have had exposure to that. Borders, is another huge bookstore in the US. eBay is there in India. Then you have Walmart, which is already entered via Bharti, now they've split up and they're going their own ways. But Walmart is going to be in the B2B segment. But still, then Costco, which is a huge player in the US. Only time can tell when it comes to this market. Then there are so many technical book forums, where you can buy technical books, not just the regular books. And then there is the issue of piracy and so on and so forth. Now, so if you look at this competitive landscape, Myntra has just received some more funding from somebody like Azim Premji from Wipro. So probably there is a lot of pressure on Wipro, and or maybe Azim Premji rightly feels that this is the way to grow. So there is investment coming in. Snapdeal has already closed a round of funding. We know that. It is therefore, this is not a very comfortable marketplace to be losing money despite being a leader. So I'm kind of harping on that point, and I have said it probably 2-3 times. It does not speak very well about the marketing strategy of this company. They need this money to survive or to thrive. This will become clear only as time goes. But it is quite suspect that they will have to come out with some serious strategies to counter all these competitors. In our previous discussion, we talked about a simple comparison of two brand names, Flipkart versus Amazon. So which one would you like to go to? I mean, the answer is quite obvious right now. There is brand strength in Flipkart, but when it comes to Amazon, you have a difficulty in answering that question. Similarly, there are other players. Reliance Digital is backed up by huge capital. Reliance is a huge player. For them, 1,000 crores is peanuts. If Azim Premji decides to step in bigger way into Myntra or to some other portal, these companies are flush with funds and they have pressures to expand into other areas. So there is really no horse, no bars competition, if we may think so. So from that perspective, Flipkart is going to have a tough time. Amazon also has a mixed model, a distribution and no stock and shop. They call it stock and shop, which is the inventory model, and then there is the forwarding model. You get directly from the retailer. So Amazon has that worldwide. Now, how does Flipkart handle that pressure when Amazon comes into India? Because we're looking at the future, we're trying to talk about the competitive landscape. So let's just take Amazon, because I think Amazon is a very significant threat to every other company. They have in the US also, they have kind of like, put other companies on the side, wherever they went. And the reason is that they have extensive tie-ups already with retailers, with manufacturers in China. So to China to US is a longer distance than China to India. And Amazon will have advantages in coming to India. It already has supplier relationships. It already has all those advantages. It has a proven business model. So to me it appears it is going to be very tough for Flipkart unless they do something really drastic. And even though people say that FDI in retail is restricted to a certain model, not to the B2C, direct and all that, but if you look at all this venture cap funding which is coming, this is actually kind of foreign capital. This is not really Indian capital. So FDI is kind of coming in, although indirectly through these companies, and it is coming into the B2C sector, which Flipkart is a beneficiary of. But to sustain themselves, they will have to do something very dramatic. I don't see a strategy as yet. I don't see that picture yet.
Okay, in terms of, if we talk about the, so a very good description on the amount of competitors that are entering into this particular sphere of e-commerce or retailing in India. But if we just see from the market point of view, we were just talking about that Flipkart has grown its revenues from 20 crores to 750 crores lately. So this basically shows the amount of possibly the expendable market that is there in India. People are becoming more open to buying online, possibly even if it's through the cash on delivery model. So this in sense does portray a positive picture about the e-commerce industry of India. I think the major problem where most of the online retailers are going wrong is in terms of the target segment. So there are two kinds of customers that you probably have in this area. One is a customer who looks for convenience, things delivered to his home, cash on delivery and other benefits. And other is a customer who looks for cost benefits that you are trying to give. The first customer is addressed pretty well. The second customer, in terms of the price, I think there is a limit to which a price benefit should be offered to the customer. The problem is these online retailers have taken it too far. 49% off, 50% off, 70% off is the margin that they are trying to play on. And that is affecting their bottom line in the end. And that is the basic reason, I believe, that they are not able to show profitability over a long term. And this is actually affecting or projecting a dismal picture of the entire industry as such.
So it's basically a thing of price wars which is affecting the whole competition dynamics.
Actually, I just had a little clarification here. I wouldn't say that the overall picture is very negative. If I have I would have to convey that. Thing is, there is a lot of potential in the market. People are actually hungry for products, and there can be a proven model. But it is just that how you translate the Indian consumer to buy this product in an ecosystem which is not really very supportive of these kind of transactions. We have all kinds of problems right now, and we also have problems at the end of companies who sell through Flipkart. For example, if you were to look for a printer which has a duplex function, I'm just giving you an example because I'm in the market for a duplex scanner printer. You won't find it here, and if you find it here, it is probably going to cost you more than 50,000 rupees. Now you go to the US website and you find it is for $199. So to build that trust, you also need a global supply chain. You also need the ecosystem to be in place. Whatever may be the reasons which prohibit these companies from selling the product, or maybe gives them undue advantage, this actually causes the entire industry to lose. Because if I know that I can't get the right product on Flipkart for the right price, then I will probably lose my faith in 10 other retailers as well, because I'm doing comparison shopping. And it is very easy to compare. Technology has made it so easy to compare across portals. So I can actually run, there are standard tools that people are coming to know of, and you can actually run those. These are standardized softwares or spiders, as slightly technical people call them. But they are actually available for free, and they are, if you Google, you just find them. So it says, I will compare the same product on 10 portals. And you'll be surprised, the 10 places are offering dramatically different prices. So how does the customer have faith in a system which actually shows different prices, so many different configurations, and makes the process so complicated? So we don't also have, in fact, there is an opportunity for Flipkart to set the rules and to kind of create that trust. And if they can, they can actually benefit, and maybe some others will join them. And the overall pie will grow. So it is not a negative picture for the entire industry, but there's a lot of challenge, there's a lot of opportunity therefore, because from challenges you also get opportunities. And I think they are missing out on those opportunities. That is the key issue, which is a problem for the entire retail industry, minus, all those guys are going to come in big way, like Amazon and so on and so forth.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So actually considering what is important to stay in the whole e-commerce or the social network business, what is most important is it's actually important to get customer acquisition.
Okay, and you increase the whole scale of business that's actually required. When did Amazon break even? It break even after 7 to 8 years. And where was Amazon's positioning? Initially they were fighting with the e-commerce industry, later they were fighting with Walmart, and now they're fighting actually with Apple and the whole technology business. The Kindle is actually fighting with the iPad business. So, and today's Flipkart competition is agreed with the e-commerce, I think, but at the same time, the competition with Big Bazaar, Pantaloons, and the other retailers.
Absolutely.
It's a common phenomenon. The price sensitive customers, they go and evaluate their prices there, and then they come back and look at back at there. And the other thing is the price competition war which is happening, and it's quite actually amusing on some of the Flipkart actually rated below, because the new entrants, the new players which want to actually capture the low-hanging fruits, for example, Jabong or Jangli or new other customers. So they're actually trying to give more offers, more discounts. Actually, this is actually quite a competition for Flipkart to actually beat this one. And we need to actually evaluate on Jangli's case, because Amazon wanted to beat Flipkart through Jangli. They started investing in Jangli, but still they were not able to actually do a disruptive innovation out in this case. So actually Flipkart is doing actually like to beat this market, and the competition, their segmentation or the positioning is quite different, which has changed over the years.
So I'll just very quickly point out the problem with Flipkart right now. I remember, everybody can probably see this article. It's a day before yesterday article. They have actually compared, what is the wait time for response to customer request. And if you look at that, you'll be surprised. Flipkart is at the bottom of the table. And compared to Mantra, which is the second, that they have compared, out of probably 10 of those. So Flipkart is at the lowest of the table. It is at probably 15 and a half hours or something. Whereas, Mantra is at like 3.5 hours or something. And there are much faster retailers like Amazon or eBay or even, those other Indian players. So there are serious issues, that they have to sort out, that deeper analytics can reveal, because they have to sort out business issues. I mean, one thing is I can be running out of money and I can go to the bank. I do believe that I have a viable business model and I can try to make my business survive. That happens. That is what every business tries to do. You do run out of money at a time, but that happens. But given that you have the money, do you really know what is the problem? Why you have not been able to capture the market in 7 years in certain segments? Why are you not a segment topper, at least in few of the segments? Or why don't you appear to give confidence to people, who actually want to buy a product from you? Because if it's going to take 15.5 hours to get a response, then obviously you probably will be gone somewhere else by the time you get the response.
So we all basically agree that the competition is shaping up very strongly in the current scenario of e-retail in India. But few points which I wanted to share with you, that we have to also analyze that why this response time which Nitin mentioned is low, probably because they have shifted from own inventory model to a marketplace model. And typically in a marketplace model, the time of response will be high. And probably that the shifting has not been so smooth, it is reflected if the survey says that the response time is highest. But also few things that if you see the new, there are many startups which are coming in this e-retail business now. One data shows that in last 1 year almost $700 million were invested in new startups and existing businesses they invested in capacity expansion and acquiring technology and all. There are few players who are doing very innovative things. Like Infibeam is a player who actually built a bazaar concept they have started. So what there is a dual model. It is not only own inventory model, but they are also allowing retailers to use the IT and infrastructure facility of Infibeam to reach to their customers. And the small and big, anyone can participate. So this is giving them a unique strategic edge. That one hand they have established product in hand, other hand they have a small manufacturer also, which are placed and very price competitive. Because in a marketplace scenario, the price control goes out of the company's hand. So it becomes like that. So this is where Infibeam has happened. And also, Snapdeal does a very good practice. They offer make your own combo scheme. So while in many other, if you see in a retail scenario, many other retailers, online retailers will be giving a pre-decided combo option. But Snapdeal offers a make your own combo. So you can actually select and then put up to the website whether you want, what is the price for this, and you can get a very good competitive price.
Since we are talking about marketplaces, one of the things noticed in Flipkart's marketplace and why the transition is not smooth probably. So if you go and see any of the products in Flipkart as of today, they do not show the details of the retailer. or probably the rating of the retailer. So when I'm buying a product, when I am seeing a single product listed 10 times at 10 different prices, that's primarily because 10 different vendors have listed them at different prices. I should be able to see the rating of each and every vendor so that I know which vendor can be trusted more. So this is one of the things that probably Flipkart can take up. The other thing is that still the WS retail that used to supply all the products to Flipkart is still operating there. And somehow it turns out that every time WS retail's product has the cheapest possible price from among the 10 products that you see. So is Flipkart actually seeing the prices of the vendors and then pricing the WS retail product? So this is another thing that might not give confidence to other retailers to actually contribute to Flipkart. So these are the two things probably that Flipkart should take up in terms of improving the marketplace.
Perhaps with regard to that, they might also try to improve their auditing system for different retailers that are registered with them. So basically, we have covered a lot of points here, and the competition leg